I'm Michelle. I'm a senior at Jordan High School. Right now this is where we're going to give our candidates their closing statements, and we're going to first start out with the mayor candidates, Steve and I can never pronounce the name. Sylvester, there we go. I'm sorry. And we're going to end up having 2 minutes, and Carolyn's going to be timing you guys on your closing statements, and she'll give you the warning at the 1 minute mark.
Do you want to sit there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us. This is always the best forum. You all ask the best questions, and it's done in such a great, constructive way. And I just want to thank all the students that were here doing this. It's amazing to be here. So we know that we have a wonderful city. It's a city that's prospering. A lot of people are having a wonderful life here in Durham, but we also know that 20% of the people that live in Durham are not sharing in that prosperity. And our job is to change that. And it's hard to change it. It's very hard to make change on big issues, on housing affordability, on the bus system, on all of those things that we know are so important. And that's why we're relying on you. The young people in this room, you all are the ones that are going to help drive this change. The rest of us, we're out here, we're doing our best. But really, you all are the future. You all are the ones that are going to make all this happen. So I'm so grateful to be here. And I want to challenge each of you all to find your way to be involved in our city and to help make our city great and to help us meet this challenge of making sure that the city we love is a city for all. And I know you all can help us do that. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I really enjoy talking to young people because, that gives you an idea of what our future will be like. I remember coming up in the civil rights era. Yes, I'm that old. And during that time where there was march, there were protests about injustices that were being done. And so I'm so glad to see you young people involved now because you're wanting to know the truth. As mayor, that's all I want to speak to you is truth. And right now, a lot of what you're hearing now is not truth. And as a pastor and as a leader, it really bothers me that people can stand up before you and present a lie so it's the truth and expect you not to be able to question it. You should be able to question anything that's said. And that's why I'm glad to see you here now, that you don't just take, oh, well, okay, since they said it has to be right, it has to be okay. I'm hoping that you go away, do your research, talk to your parents, talk to other community leaders and say, well, how much of what they told me is actually true versus false? And that's the thing why I enjoy seeing you here, because I realize that just your being here tells me that you have an interest not only in your life now, but also in your future life. And the only one who can really, really make that difference is you. It's not someone else. You're the one that has to do it. You've got to take the initiative, take the charge and say, well, what they telling me, is it true? I'm going to do my research. I'm going to look deeper into it because I'm telling you, that's why I'm running, because there are a lot of untruths being put out on the people. And as a pastor, as a leader, especially one who loves the Lord Jesus, that is not what I want to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to call on our city council on whoever wants to go first for their closing statement. Alrighty.
Thank you. And I'm Daniel Meier, the one whose name tag can't stay on. So I do appreciate y'all being out here. One of the things to remember, one of the problems we have with local elections is lack of engagement. Turnout's about 9%. Y'all being here shows y'all are interested. Unfortunately, most of you can't vote. But you can talk to your family, you can talk to your friends, you can talk to their parents and explain these issues really do matter. One of the things I think to remember with all of this is make sure you do educate yourself. You do look to the issues. Don't just listen to what we say. Go check the websites, ask the questions, Look at other forums too, because everyone kind of caters it to here we're with the kids, so we're going to do this. If I'm talking to the PA, I'm going to do that. If I'm talking to the Durham committee, I'm going to do this. Make sure people are consistent in saying what they need to do. Durham's a great place, but we need to make sure that we continue to work forward and all of us together and stop the divisiveness. We need law enforcement in the short term to keep us safe. They're not the long-term solution. We need to work on the economic development, the housing, the job growth, and the transportation for the long terms. We need to stop pretending everything is an either-or decision. Y'all are growing up in a time of hyperpolarization and hyperpolitization, and I feel bad for that. You need to make sure to recognize we're all in this together. You don't have to agree to be friends. You just need to look and work together to do solutions, and anyone who's trying to divide you, you need to stop. You need to work together, make sure we can all work together for long-term solutions to make Durham the great city, to keep it the good city that it is and make it an even better city. That's as far as it goes, sorry.
Hi, everybody. My name is Charlie Reece. For the last 4 years, it's been my privilege to serve as a member of the Durham City Council. The mayor's absolutely right. This is the very best forum of the year. I first came 4 years ago, and I liked it so much that the mayor pro tem and I came back 2 years ago. Even though we weren't on the ballot, we didn't get to answer questions, but we sat on the side and watched. It was amazing. You can count on me being back here 2 years from now because you guys are the best. I ran for city council 4 years ago because I wanted to make Durham a more affordable city, a more prosperous city, and a safer city. 4 years later, I can tell you that Durham has less crime today than we did 4 years ago when I was elected, and the current city council and I have worked really, really hard to bring more living wage jobs and more affordable housing to Durham during that time. While I'm proud of the progress that we've made, we have a lot of work to do, and that's why I'm running for re-election, because I want to keep making progress on those critical issues for the people of this city. But before I get done talking, I just want to make sure that the young folks in the room understand that I work for you just like I work for any adult in this city. If you see a problem in Durham, please reach out to me by email. You can Google me, I'm Charlie Reece. Please reach out to me by email and tell me, this is the problem I've identified. Can you help me find a solution? I will meet with you, with your parents. I will talk to you about the problem. Let's say you don't have enough parks in your part of the city. The speed limit on the road outside of your neighborhood is too fast. All kinds of stuff that I can help with. So please reach out to me, because if you learn today that government can work for you, then by the time you get to be old like me, you'll be one of the most engaged residents we have. So thank you so much. Again, I'm Charlie Reece, and thanks for having us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Really appreciated spending some time with you. My name's Jillian Johnson. I've been on City Council also for 4 years. And I'm really excited to be here with y'all and share a little bit about myself and my platform. I moved to Durham 20 years ago to do undergrad at Duke University and moved into my neighborhood, the West End neighborhood, shortly after that. I have 2 kids, neither of whom are tracked for Riverside, unfortunately. You might see them at Jordan one day. And I ran for city council 4 years ago because I wanted to help make this community that I have decided to spend my life in and raise my kids in a better place for everybody. We've done a lot of really good work the last 4 years on city council, but we know that we can do a lot more. The 5 issues that I address in my platform, which is online at jillianfordurham.com, are affordable housing, which we talked about a lot tonight, community safety, which we also talked about a lot, sustainability, economic inclusion, and community engagement. And those are the things that I think are most important for the city to focus on moving forward. I also want to make a quick plug to you all for the city's participatory budgeting program. The voting age for PB is 13. Anyone who lives in the city of Durham who is 13 or older, regardless of citizenship status, can participate. And this past year, we allocated $2.4 million for community-generated projects. We get a lot of votes from Durham Public Schools, so I want to encourage all of you to get involved in that and to continue to be engaged in Kids Vote and all the other ways that you are involved in your community. We need young people to get engaged and stay engaged, and so I'm really thankful for you all for hosting this event and for having us, and look forward to seeing you in 2 years because I love it so much. I'm totally going to come back. Thank you all so much.
What's up, y'all? How we doing? Everybody all right? I'm a little loud for the library, huh? My name is Joshua Gunn. I am excited to be running for city council in my hometown. I was born and raised here in Durham. I attended Durham Public Schools, like some of you all. I went to Pearson Town, Rogers Her, Githens, and Jordan. Don't boo. I know y'all are playing Jordan on Friday, so don't boo me. But really, really excited to be running to help make our city better. I'm running for several reasons. One of those is that we do have 20% of our residents living in poverty. I'm also running because while you've heard that crime is down, our homicide rate is up in our city. Our homicide rate is in fact double year over year from 2018 to 2019. And I'm running because those homicides have impacted folks that I know, folks that are my neighbors, folks that are my friends, and folks that many of you probably know. And that should concern all of us. We are in a crisis of public safety in Durham. And I think we need leadership that is willing to prioritize our safety above everything else. Because if we're not safe, the rest of the initiatives that we talk about don't matter. We can talk about affordable housing all we want, but if folks can't be safe in those homes, then affordable housing doesn't matter. I also think we need to address the root causes of crime, which are economic. So I'm advocating for a better economic development strategy that provides jobs and a wide range of jobs. Some of you will go on and go to college and come back here and hopefully find a job and you'll do just fine. But those of you who choose not to go to college, there are very limited opportunities for you in Durham, and I want to advocate for more opportunities across the spectrum for high school graduates, 2-year and certificate programs. But I'm also running for another very important reason, and that reason is perspective. We have on council right now what I call a lunchroom mentality. That means that if you don't agree with the folks on council today, then you can't sit with them. And that bothers me. We need diversity of thought and perspective, and we need a council that advocates for all people, even if you disagree with them. And I also think the perspective that I bring as a Durham Public School graduate is important. We don't have anybody on council today that graduated from Durham Public Schools. Oh, my time's up. So we need perspective, we need diversity of thought, we need to make Durham better. Durham is good right now, but I believe better is possible, and with Joshua Gunn, we'll do all we can to make Durham better for you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for having us tonight. This was a fantastic forum. I actually love kids voting. I have 3 kids in Durham Public Schools. In fact, I have 3 future pirates. One of them will be starting here next year. Kids voting has always been a fantastic, with the issues, and they've always fretted over which issue is most important to them on the ballot. So thank you for having us. There's lots of reasons I'm running, but it's actually really interesting to me. I'm going to share a story about the first time I was ever in Riverside. And the first time I was ever at Riverside, it was after the 2016 election, which was, I think, for many people in our community, especially our immigrant community, an extremely challenging, trying time. Wilden Acosta is a former Riverside student. He was kidnapped in front of his house. The teachers in this building are one of the main reasons we were able to get Wilden out of ICE detention. It's because of the advocating that happened in this building, along with many other folks in the city, and fighting for a kid. And I bring that to council. I will fight every single day for the kids in this city. The reason that I got involved even more in my kids' schools, I was already pretty involved as a parent. I was a PTA president at Club Boulevard in 2016, and we were supposed to have a PTA meeting. And I was like, there's no way right now we're going to have a regular PTA meeting where we talk about fundraising and we talk about what are we going to do for our teachers. It wasn't the right time. So instead we had a forum for parents to come and share around immigration and what they were feeling and the trauma that they were processing. And that was probably one of the most impactful moments of my life. We had parents who were genuinely sharing all of the fears that they had in that moment, and several Riverside teachers, and Wilden came, and then we had a very similar meeting in this room several months later. And that's why I'm running. I'm running to continue fighting, because what we see at the national level and what we see at the state level, for the most part, is people who do not care about the people who look like us in this room. So thank you so much for having me. Very much appreciate it.
Thank y'all. I think they saved the best for last. That's me. As you know, I'm a little hoarse because I've been outside all day long talking to people all day, and they hug and kiss on me, and they spread little things, but I'm okay. I'm blessed. But I just want to say that I'm Jacqueline Wagstaff, and I go by one name in this campaign, Jackie. And I say that because I have arrived. I'm like Prince. I can use one name, and people know who I am. I remember coming to this school years ago, and I've done a lot of IEP meetings with parents, and as a former school board member, that was something I did a lot. I've always been a hands-on person, but I'm running because there is like Joshua said back there is some vision on the council that's missing right now. And right now, I believe that there's a seasoning that needs to be there. It's like when you eat chicken, and that chicken doesn't have seasoning. It's real bland, isn't it? I'm that Lowry seasoning salt. I need to bring it back. I'm telling you about it. But really, there's a lot that we need to do in Durham right now. And I think that with my experience in the 31 years that I've spent in this city, hands on the ground and what they call boots on the ground, working with young people, and I love young people. I had 3 sons go through this system, and one I actually brought here to Riverside. He couldn't stay in school at Hillside, so I brought him out here because I figured they didn't have a bus route, so he couldn't leave. And I told him if he'd leave, he'd have to either steal a car or call a cab. He did neither. So I had one Riverside and 2 Hillside. So I know this system, and I know young people, and I know what it is that they're looking for. I've heard I work with gang members on a daily basis. I understand this crime, and I understand the things that we need for Durham. So I just want to bring back that seasoning to the city council, and I want you to go home and tell your parents that you need to vote for Jackie. One word, Jackie.
Alrighty, so thank everyone for coming, our candidates and both our candidates and our youth for coming. So, as I was going to say, though, with the youth ballots, we're going to want our kids to vote and make sure that they vote on what they heard today, as that will be as the results will be coming back on who is elected by November 6th, if I'm correct, and you'll be able to get that from your schools.
And make sure to tell your friends who aren't here to vote, because their voice won't actually count towards the election, but it still matters, as you know. Thank you again to everybody who came. Thank you to the candidates, our moderators, our adult allies, and especially these students who are the voice of the future. And I think Carolyn has one last thing she wants to say. Thank you again.
So not too many adults get to talk at the forum, the candidates, and I get this little bit of time here. I also want to thank everybody for coming out today. It matters to me a lot, both as a citizen and a person who works with youth, that we have candidates, that we have people in our community that care what our young people think and are interested and engaged with them. For the young people that came tonight, just excellent questions. I really enjoyed it. I want to thank the Kids Voting Board and our sponsors for being here for this tonight. And I especially want to give a big hand to our youth leaders who served as the moderators tonight. They are just an amazing group. So I hope whether you are a youth or an adult, you feel like you can cast a little bit more of an informed vote now, and that you understand how important our city government is to our community, and our engagement is to them. So thank you all again for coming, and if the candidates would stay for just a few minutes, I think people want a round of pictures with you. I'm sorry? Apparently there's something else I'm supposed to say.
I just wanted to say, if there were any candidates who did not get their little gift bag, come talk to somebody in a blue shirt. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you.